Okay, um, this is the second half of the play, beginning with Act 3. That's page 20 in your scripts. Here we go. Alas now, pray you, work not so hard. I would the lightning had burned up those logs you were enjoined to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. My mother's hard at study. Pray now rest yourself, she's safe for these 3 hours. O most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do. If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry to the pile. No, precious creature, I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo, while I sit lazy by. It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my good will is to it, and yours it is against. You look wearily. No, noble mistress, 'tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, what is your name? Miranda. Oh, my mother, I have broke your hest to say so. Admired Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I have eyed with best regard. For several virtues have I liked several women. But never any was so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best. I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remembers, save from my glass mine own. How features are abroad I am skilless of. But I would not wish any companion in the world but you. But my mother's precepts I herein do forget. I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service, and there resides, to make me slave to it. And for your sake am I this patient log-man. Do you love me? I, beyond all limit of what else in the world, do love, prize, honor you. I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of. Wherefore weep you? And mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, much less take what I shall die to want. I am your wife, if you will marry me. My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever. My husband, then? I, with a heart as willing as bondage e'er of freedom. Here's my hand. And mine with my heart in't. And now farewell till half an hour hence. 1,000,000. As I told thee before, I am subject to a tyrant, a sorceress that by her cunning hath cheated me of the island. Thou liest! Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! Trinculo, if you trouble him any more in his tale, by this hand I will supplant some of your teeth. Why, I said nothing! Mum then, and proceed. I say, by sorcery she got this isle. From me she got it. If thy greatness will revenge it on her, thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee. How shall this be compassed? I'll yield her thee asleep, where thou mayest knock a nail into her head. Thou liest, thou canst not. Thou scurvy patch, I do beseech thy greatness, give him blows. Trinculo, interrupt the monster one word further, and by this hand I'll turn my mercy out of doors and make a stockfish of thee. Why, what did I? I did nothing. Didst thou not say he lied? Thou liest! Do I so? Take thou that! I did not give the lie! The devil take your fingers! Ha ha! Beat him enough! After a little time I'll beat him too. Come, proceed. 'Tis a custom with her the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayest brain her, having first seized her books. Remember first to possess her books, for without them she's but a sot, as I am, nor hath not one spirit to command. They all do hate her as rootedly as I. And that most deeply to consider is the beauty of her daughter. I never saw a woman but only Sycorax my dam, and she as far surpasses Sycorax as greatest does least. Is it so brave a lass? Ay, lord, she will bring thee forth brave brood. Monster, I will kill this hag. Her daughter and I will be king and queen, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Excellent! This will I tell my mistress. Come on, Trinculo, let us sing. Flout 'em and scout 'em and scout 'em and flout 'em, thought is free. What is this saying? If thou beest a man, show thyself in thy likeness. Be not afeard. The isle is full of noises, sounds and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about mine ears, and sometime voices, that if then I had waked after long sleep, will make me sleep again, and then in dreaming the clouds methought would open and show riches ready to drop upon me, that when I waked I cried to dream again. This will prove a brave kingdom to me, or I shall have my music for nothing. When Prospera is destroyed. The sound is going away, let's follow it, and after do our work. I can go no further, my old bones ache. Old lord, sit down and rest. He's drowned whom thus we stray to find. I am right glad that she's so out of hope. Do not forego the purpose that you resolve to effect. The next advantage will we take thoroughly. Let it be tonight. What harmony is this? My good friends, hark! If in Naples I should report this now, who would believe me? If I should say I saw such islanders who, though they are of monstrous shape, yet, note, their manners are more gentle kind than many of our human generation you shall find. Honest lord, thou hast said well, for some of you there present are worse than devils. They vanished strangely. No matter, since they have left their goods behind. Will it please you taste of what is here? Not I. Faith, sir, you need not fear. You are 3 women of sin, whom destiny the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live. You fools, I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with stabs kill the still closing waters. Your swords are now too heavy for your strengths, and will not be uplifted. You 3 from Milan did supplant good Prospera, for which foul deed the powers have incensed the seas and shores against your peace. Thee of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft. Lingering perdition, worse than any death, shall step by step attend you in your ways. Now I have made you mad. They now are in my power, and in these fits I leave them, while I visit young Ferdinand, whom they suppose is drowned. Oh, it is monstrous! Methought the thunder pronounced the name of Prospera. Therefore my son of the ooze is bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than e'er plummet sounded, and with him there lie mudded. But one fiend at a time, I'll fight their legions o'er. I'll be thy second. All 3 of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. I'll follow swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to. If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation make amends. For I have given you here 1/3 of mine own life. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. O Ferdinand, thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her. I do believe it. Sit then and talk with her, she is thine own. What, Ariel? What would my potent mistress? Go bring the rabble, o'er whom I give thee power. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. Before you can say, come and go and breathe twice. Now come, my Ariel. Honor, riches, marriage, blessing, long continuance and increasing, hourly joys be still upon you. Now we sing our blessings upon you. Earth's increase and fours in plenty, barns and gardens never empty, vines and clustering bunches growing, plants with burden bowing. We're changing some of these words, as you know. Want shall shun you, now our blessing so is on you. Let me live here forever. So rare a wondered mother and a wife makes this place paradise. I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beasts Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot has almost come. Your mother's in some passion that works her strongly. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold to you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit, shall dissolve, and like the insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. A turn or two I'll walk to still my beating mind. We wish your peace. Come with a thought, Ariel. What's thy pleasure? Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. I, my commander. Where dost thou leave these varlets? I beat my tabor, and so charmed their ears, that they my lowing followed through toothed briars, pricking grass and thorns. I left them in the filthy mudded pool behind your cell. This was well done, my bird. The finery in my house, go bring it hither. I go. Caliban, a devil, a born devil, on whose nature nurture never can stick, on whom my pains humanely taken, all lost, quite lost. Come, hang them on this line. Pray you, tread softly, we now are near her cell. Monster, I do smell of filth, at which my nose is in great indignation. So is mine. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you. Good my lord, be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. This is the mouth of the cell. Ay, but to lose our bottles in the pool. Prithee, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here, this is the mouth of the cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine forever, and I, thy Caliban, forever thy footlicker. Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts. Oh, King Stephano! Oh, worthy Stephano! Look what a wardrobe here is for thee! Let it alone, you fool! It is but trash! Oh, monster! We know what belongs to a frippery! Oh, King Stephano! Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand I'll have that gown. Thy grace shall have it? What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let it alone, and do the murder first. If she awake, from toe to crown she'll fill our skins with pinches, make us strange stuff. Be you quiet, monster. We shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles or to apes. Monster, help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to, carry this. And this. Aye, and this. Fury, fury, hark, they roar! At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Shortly shall all my labours end, and thou shalt have the air of freedom. How's the day? On the 6th hour, at which time, my lady, you said our work would cease. I did say so. Say, my spirit, how fares the queen and her followers? Confined together, all prisoners. The good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears run down his cheeks like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. Your charm so strongly works them, that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender. Dost thou think so, spirit? Mine would, madam, were I human. And mine shall. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? Though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason against my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They, being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. Go, release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves. I'll fetch them here. Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes and groves, by whose aid I have bedimmed the noontide sun, called forth the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured vault set roaring war. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and let 'em forth, by my so potent art. But this rough magic I here abjure. I'll break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. There stand, for you are spell-stopped. O good Gonzalo, I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonsa, use me and my daughter. You, sister mine, that entertained ambition, who would here have killed your queen. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. Their understanding begins to swell. I will myself present, as I was sometime, Milan. Where the bee sucks, there suck I, in a cowslip spell I lie. There I couch when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly. Merrily, merrily shall I live now, under the blossom that hangs on the bough. Some heavenly power guide us out of this fearful country. Behold, fair queen, the wronged Duchess of Milan, Prospera. To thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome. I do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs, but how should Prospera be living and be here? First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined. Whether this be or be not, I'll not swear. You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle, that will not let you believe things certain. But you, my brace of ladies, were I so minded, I here could justify you traitors. But at this time I will tell no tales. For you, most wicked sister, I do forgive thy rankest fault, and require my dukedom of thee. How hast thou met us here, who 3 hours since were wrecked upon this shore, where I have lost my dear son Ferdinand? Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure. I rather think you have not sought her help. I have lost my daughter, too. A daughter? Oh, heavens! When did you lose your daughter? In this last tempest. This cell is my court. Pray you look in. Sweet lord, you play me false. No, my dearest love, I would not for the world. Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play. If this prove a vision of the island, one dear son shall I lose twice. Though the seas threaten, they are merciful. I have cursed them without cause. Arise, and say how thou camest here. Oh, wonder, how many goodly creatures are there here! How beauteous mankind is! Oh, brave new world that has such people in't! 'Tis new to thee. What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Is she the goddess that hath served us, and brought us thither, and brought us thus together? Ma'am, she's mortal, but by immortal providence she's mine. She is daughter to this famous Duchess of Milan. Oh, how oddly will it sound that I must ask my child forgiveness. Oh, look! Here is more of us. What is the news? The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship is here, and bravely rigged, as when we first put out to sea. These are not natural events. We were dead of sleep, and all clapped under hatches. Even now, with strange noises, we were waked. Straightway at liberty, where we freshly beheld our royal, good, and gallant ship. This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod. Spirit, set Caliban and his companions free. There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not. Here's a goodly sight. These be brave spirits indeed. How fine my mistress is! These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil had plotted with them to take my life. 2 of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness I acknowledge mine. I shall be pinched to death. Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler? Why, how now, Stefano? Oh, touch me not, I am not Stefano, but a cramp. This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on. He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter, and seek for grace. What a thrice double ass was I, to take this drunkard for a god, and worship this dull fool. Go to, away. I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, and in the morn I'll bring you to your ship and so to Naples. I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the years strangely. I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas. My Ariel, be free, and fare thee well. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own, which is most faint. Now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you, or sent to Naples. Let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardoned the deceiver, dwell in this bare island by your spell, but release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands. As you from crimes would pardoned be, let your indulgence set me free.